Welcome back to Olivia's Summaries, the channel where we take life-changing books and turn them into engaging, insightful summaries. Today, we're diving into a book that's equal parts fun, practical, and empowering. ADHD is Awesome, a guide to mostly thriving with ADHD by Penn and Kim Holderness. This isn't your typical self-help book. It's written by the Holdernesses, viral YouTube stars known for their humor and relatability, who bring their real-life experience with ADHD into the spotlight. Penn has navigated life with ADHD, and Kim has mastered the art of supporting him. Together, they've crafted a guide packed with actionable advice, personal stories, and even a good dose of humor to make ADHD feel less like a challenge and more like a superpower. In this book, they tackle everything from understanding what's going on in an ADHD brain to discovering the incredible strengths it brings, like creativity and hyperfocus. It's not just for those with ADHD, but also for loved ones, caretakers, and anyone curious about how ADHD impacts lives. From practical tips for daily routines to heartfelt encouragement, this book redefines ADHD as something awesome. If you're ready to explore a world where ADHD isn't a limitation, but a gateway to innovation and resilience, stick around. Let's uncover the tools, insights, and laughs this book offers, and maybe change the way you see ADHD forever. In ADHD Is Awesome, Chapter 1, Understanding ADHD, the Holdernesses lay the foundation for understanding what ADHD truly means, beyond the stereotypes. They explain that ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, isn't just about being forgetful or overly energetic. It's a neurodevelopmental condition that affects how people process the world, manage attention, and regulate emotions. A key focus in this chapter is dismantling misconceptions. ADHD isn't a lack of focus. Rather, it's an inability to control where focus goes. This can lead to hyperfocus on tasks of interest or difficulty concentrating on others. They also emphasize that ADHD impacts executive functions like planning, organizing, and prioritizing, making everyday tasks uniquely challenging. The chapter introduces the idea that ADHD brains operate differently, often leading to creativity, innovation, and outside-the-box thinking. Instead of framing ADHD as a problem, the authors suggest it's a unique way of experiencing the world that comes with its own set of strengths and hurdles. Drawing from Penn's personal experiences, they shed light on common ADHD struggles like impulsivity, emotional dysregulation, and the infamous ADHD time warp, where the concept of time feels abstract or distorted. These stories make the science of ADHD relatable and accessible, helping readers feel seen and understood. The Holdernesses also acknowledge the frustration and stigma often tied to ADHD, offering reassurance that understanding the condition is the first step toward thriving with it. They advocate for self-compassion and emphasize that ADHD isn't a flaw, it's a different way of being that can be navigated with the right tools and mindset. This chapter sets the tone for the rest of the book, aiming to shift perspectives and highlight ADHD's potential as an awesome, albeit challenging part of life. In ADHD Is Awesome, Chapter 2, The Diagnosis Journey, the Holdernesses delve into the often complex and emotional process of getting an ADHD diagnosis. They share personal anecdotes and practical insights, making this chapter both relatable and informative for those navigating or considering a similar path. The chapter begins by addressing the common signs that might prompt someone to seek a diagnosis, such as persistent difficulties with focus, impulsivity, or organization. Penn reflects on his own experiences, describing the aha moments when certain struggles finally made sense in the context of ADHD. This personal angle helps to demystify the condition and normalize the challenges many face before understanding their brain's unique wiring. A key theme in this chapter is the relief and validation that can come with an ADHD diagnosis. The authors highlight how a formal diagnosis is not just a label, but a tool for self-awareness. It allows individuals to better understand their strengths and limitations, paving the way for self-compassion and informed decision-making about treatment or lifestyle adjustments. The Holdernesses also discuss the challenges of the diagnostic process. Misdiagnosis, stigma, and lack of access to resources can complicate the journey, especially for adults who may have been overlooked in childhood. They emphasize the importance of finding knowledgeable professionals who approach ADHD with empathy and up-to-date expertise. The chapter introduces the idea that a diagnosis isn't about fixing what's broken, but about gaining clarity and empowerment. It encourages readers to see this journey as a way to unlock their potential, embrace their differences, and build a supportive framework for thriving. Through humor and heartfelt stories, the Holdernesses make it clear that while the diagnosis journey may be winding, it's a transformative step towards self-acceptance and growth. In ADHD Is Awesome, Chapter 3, Challenges of ADHD, the Holdernesses take a compassionate and candid look at the hurdles individuals with ADHD face in daily life. This chapter balances humor with sincerity, offering an honest exploration of the difficulties while reminding readers that these challenges don't define them. The chapter begins by highlighting some of the most common struggles, such as forgetfulness, impulsivity, and difficulty maintaining focus on less engaging tasks. Penn reflects on his personal experiences, such as missing deadlines, interrupting conversations, or losing track of time. These anecdotes make the challenges relatable while illustrating the impact ADHD can have on relationships, careers, and self-esteem. One central theme in this chapter is the frustration caused by what the authors call the ADHD paradox. This refers to the ability to hyperfocus on things that spark interest, but struggling immensely with tasks deemed boring or mundane. This inconsistency can lead to feelings of inadequacy, as others might misinterpret these behaviors as laziness or lack of effort. The Holdernesses also explore the emotional side of ADHD challenges, such as dealing with rejection sensitivity, heightened emotions, and the anxiety of living in a world not designed for neurodivergent minds. They emphasize that these emotional struggles are not character flaws, but a natural part of how ADHD brains process the world. Additionally, the chapter discusses how societal expectations can amplify these challenges, whether it's rigid school systems, workplace environments, or the stigma surrounding mental health. Individuals with ADHD often feel like they're swimming upstream. The authors stress the importance of advocating for oneself and seeking environments that understand and accommodate neurodiversity. Despite these challenges, the chapter ends on a hopeful note. The Holdernesses remind readers that understanding and acknowledging these difficulties is the first step toward managing them effectively. By embracing support systems, developing coping strategies, and focusing on strengths, individuals with ADHD can overcome obstacles and thrive. This chapter serves as both a reality check and a source of encouragement, validating the struggles while empowering readers to navigate them with resilience. In ADHD Is Awesome, Chapter 4, ADHD and Relationships, the Holdernesses tackle the complex dynamics of navigating relationships when ADHD is part of the equation. Whether romantic, familial, or platonic, relationships can present unique challenges and opportunities for individuals with ADHD and their loved ones. The chapter starts by exploring the typical patterns ADHD can create in relationships. For example, impulsivity might lead to saying things in the heat of the moment, while forgetfulness can make a partner or friend feel overlooked. At the same time, traits like creativity, enthusiasm, and a strong sense of loyalty often bring vibrancy and depth to connections. One of the key insights in this chapter is the importance of communication. The Holdernesses share practical tips for fostering understanding between partners or loved ones. This includes openly discussing ADHD traits, setting realistic expectations, and finding humor in shared experiences. By addressing misunderstandings head-on, relationships can shift from frustration to collaboration. Another significant topic is the concept of ADHD guilt. Many individuals with ADHD feel a deep sense of regret or shame for unintentional behaviors, like forgetting important dates or zoning out during conversations. The authors emphasize the importance of self-compassion and reassure readers that these moments don't diminish their value in relationships. They also encourage loved ones to offer patience and support, recognizing that these behaviors stem from ADHD rather than a lack of care. The Holdernesses highlight strategies for navigating conflict, such as using timers for discussions to prevent tangents, breaking down tasks to avoid overwhelm, and practicing active listening. They also stress the value of humor as a tool for diffusing tension and keeping the focus on connection rather than blame. Ultimately, this chapter serves as a guide for both individuals with ADHD and those who care about them. It encourages embracing ADHD as part of the relationship dynamic while focusing on mutual respect, empathy, and growth. The Holdernesses remind readers that while ADHD can bring unique challenges, it can also deepen bonds and create incredibly strong, resilient connections. In ADHD Is Awesome, Chapter 5, Thriving in School and Work, the Holdernesses dive into how ADHD impacts academic and professional life and offer strategies to not just survive, but thrive in these environments. They emphasize that while ADHD can make traditional structures challenging, it also presents unique strengths that can lead to success in school and work when approached with the right mindset and tools. The chapter begins by addressing the common struggles faced in school and work, such as difficulty with organization, procrastination, time management, and maintaining focus. Penn and Kim share personal stories of how these struggles affected their academic and professional lives, offering a relatable perspective for anyone who feels overwhelmed by the demands of education or their job. The authors acknowledge the frustration of feeling misunderstood or judged in environments that don't cater to neurodiversity, but they quickly pivot to offer practical solutions. One major insight in this chapter is the idea of embracing flexible structures. Rather than trying to fit into rigid systems, the Holdernesses suggest customizing routines and work habits to better align with ADHD tendencies. This includes breaking tasks into smaller, manageable chunks, using visual reminders, setting clear deadlines, and using tools like timers and apps to track progress. They also emphasize the power of creating an environment that minimizes distractions, such as noise-canceling headphones or using apps to block distracting websites during work or study time. Another critical piece of advice is to lean into ADHD strengths, such as creativity, problem-solving, and the ability to hyperfocus on topics of interest. The authors explain that rather than viewing ADHD as a limitation, reframing it as an asset can lead to innovative approaches to tasks and challenges. This mindset shift can help individuals with ADHD find fulfilling projects or areas of work where they can excel, even if their work habits don't conform to traditional standards. The chapter also stresses the importance of self-advocacy, especially in school and work settings where accommodations may be necessary. Penn and Kim share tips for communicating effectively with teachers, bosses, or colleagues about the support needed, whether it's extended deadlines, a quiet workspace, or more frequent check-ins. By advocating for oneself, individuals with ADHD can create an environment that plays to their strengths while mitigating the challenges. Ultimately, the chapter encourages readers to stop viewing ADHD as an obstacle to success in school or work. Instead, they suggest rethinking strategies, embracing personal strengths, and seeking out environments that offer the flexibility to thrive. The key takeaway is that with the right tools, mindset, and support, ADHD can be a superpower that leads to unique achievements and fulfillment in both academic and professional life. In ADHD Is Awesome, Chapter 6, Tools and Techniques, the Holdernesses share a variety of practical tools and techniques that help individuals with ADHD better manage their daily lives and tasks. This chapter is all about making ADHD work for you, providing a toolkit of strategies that cater to the unique challenges ADHD presents, allowing readers to boost their productivity, manage time effectively, and reduce overwhelm. The chapter begins by focusing on the importance of structure and how creating a routine can help mitigate the chaotic nature of ADHD. Penn and Kim stress that while rigid schedules may not always work for everyone, finding a flexible framework that provides some predictability can make a huge difference. They suggest using a combination of digital tools and physical reminders, like apps for task management, to-do lists, or even sticky notes around the house to keep important tasks visible. Another key insight in this chapter is the idea of time blocking, a technique where individuals set aside specific chunks of time for different tasks throughout the day. This method is particularly effective for ADHD individuals because it helps reduce the mental load of having to remember everything at once. By breaking down larger tasks into focused periods, it becomes easier to manage and complete projects without feeling overwhelmed. Additionally, the Holdernesses recommend using timers to create urgency and maintain focus during these time blocks, a method that helps counteract the tendency to get distracted. The chapter also emphasizes the power of accountability. Penn and Kim recommend using an accountability partner, whether a friend, family member, or colleague, who can help keep track of goals, remind of deadlines, and provide encouragement. This external support system ensures that tasks are completed and offers motivation when ADHD-related procrastination or forgetfulness threatens to take over. One of the more unconventional techniques discussed is the use of body doubling, which involves having someone present while completing a task. While the second person may not actively help, their mere presence can increase focus and motivation for individuals with ADHD. This technique works by reducing distractions and creating an environment that encourages task completion. Finally, the chapter delves into the importance of self-care, recognizing that managing ADHD goes beyond just tasks and productivity. The Holdernesses suggest incorporating regular breaks, engaging in physical activity, and prioritizing sleep as essential components of a balanced routine. They highlight how physical health directly impacts mental clarity and focus, which can make managing ADHD much easier. Ultimately, Chapter 6 offers a collection of actionable, ADHD-friendly strategies that empower readers to take control of their lives. With the right tools and techniques, the Holdernesses show that individuals with ADHD can enhance their efficiency, minimize distractions, and succeed in their personal and professional pursuits. In ADHD Is Awesome, Chapter 7, The Upsides of ADHD, the Holdernesses turn the conversation around by exploring the positive aspects of ADHD. Rather than focusing solely on the challenges ADHD presents, this chapter highlights how the unique traits associated with ADHD can be leveraged as strengths, ultimately reshaping the narrative around ADHD as a disorder, and showing how it can be a superpower in the right circumstances. The chapter begins by acknowledging the common struggles faced by individuals with ADHD, such as distractibility, impulsivity, and difficulty with organization. However, rather than treating these traits as solely negative, the authors emphasize that they can also lead to remarkable advantages when approached with the right mindset. One of the key positives is the ability to hyperfocus, a trait that allows individuals with ADHD to dive deeply into tasks that capture their attention, often producing exceptional results in creative or problem-solving fields. Another upside discussed is the creativity that often comes with ADHD. The authors explain that people with ADHD tend to think outside the box and make connections that others might miss. This creative thinking can lead to innovative solutions in work, school, and even personal life. Because individuals with ADHD are not always bound by traditional ways of thinking or doing things, they often bring fresh perspectives to the table, which can be an asset in fields requiring new ideas and innovation. The chapter also touches on the energy and enthusiasm that individuals with ADHD often bring to projects or relationships. When they are engaged, people with ADHD can exhibit a level of passion and excitement that is contagious. This energy can help motivate others and drive group dynamics, making them dynamic contributors to teams or communities. Additionally, the Holdernesses discuss the resilience that often comes with living with ADHD. Constantly navigating challenges and learning to adapt gives many people with ADHD a unique strength in bouncing back from setbacks. This resilience, combined with their adaptability, makes them well-suited to handle change and uncertainty. Ultimately, Chapter 7 encourages readers to reframe their view of ADHD, not as a deficit, but as a set of traits that, when understood and embraced, can lead to great success and fulfillment. The key takeaway is that ADHD isn't just something to manage or fix. It's a part of who someone is, and with the right strategies and mindset, it can be a powerful asset. By focusing on the positives, individuals with ADHD can turn what might seem like weaknesses into their greatest strengths. In ADHD Is Awesome, Chapter 8, Building a Supportive Community, the Holdernesses emphasize the importance of surrounding oneself with a strong, understanding support system. This chapter focuses on how crucial it is for individuals with ADHD to have a network of people who not only understand their challenges, but also encourage their strengths and provide emotional and practical support. The chapter begins by addressing the isolation that many people with ADHD feel, particularly when their symptoms are misunderstood or stigmatized. The authors explain that having a supportive community can make all the difference in managing ADHD. This support system doesn't just offer practical help, it provides emotional reassurance and creates a safe space where individuals can be themselves without fear of judgment. The chapter stresses that building this community isn't just about finding people who understand ADHD, but also about fostering connections with people who uplift and inspire. One of the central points in this chapter is the importance of seeking out people who are empathetic and non-judgmental. The authors suggest that friends, family members, and even colleagues who are open to learning about ADHD and are willing to adjust their expectations can provide invaluable support. These individuals become a source of strength, reminding those with ADHD that they are not defined by their challenges, but by their potential. In addition to personal relationships, the Holdernesses encourage individuals with ADHD to seek professional support, including therapists or coaches who specialize in ADHD. These professionals can provide targeted guidance, strategies, and coping mechanisms tailored to ADHD, further reinforcing the importance of having a reliable support network. The chapter also highlights the power of community groups or online forums where people with ADHD can connect with others who are going through similar experiences. Sharing stories, resources, and coping strategies within a community of peers can provide both practical advice and a sense of belonging. The Holdernesses recommend that individuals actively seek these types of communities, as they offer not only advice but also the affirmation that people with ADHD are not alone in their struggles. Ultimately, the chapter underscores that a supportive community is not just a luxury, but a necessity for those with ADHD. By surrounding themselves with people who understand and encourage them, individuals with ADHD can more easily navigate the challenges they face and unlock their full potential. The key takeaway is that no one with ADHD has to go it alone. Creating a network of supportive, positive, and understanding individuals can be the key to thriving with ADHD. In ADHD Is Awesome, the Holdernesses offer a refreshing and empowering perspective on living with ADHD. The key lessons from the book emphasize that ADHD is not just a challenge to overcome. It's a part of who a person is, with strengths and traits that, when embraced, can lead to incredible personal growth and success. One of the central insights from the book is the importance of reframing ADHD as a set of strengths rather than a series of limitations. From creativity and resilience to hyperfocus and passion, ADHD brings unique abilities that can be harnessed to succeed in various aspects of life, whether in relationships, work, or school. Understanding ADHD as part of an individual's identity, rather than something to fix, allows them to work with their mind instead of against it. Additionally, the book teaches the value of building a supportive community, whether through understanding friends and family or professional guidance. Having a strong support network is essential for navigating the ups and downs of ADHD. The Holdernesses emphasize that no one with ADHD should have to go through life alone. Surrounding oneself with positive, empathetic people is key to thriving with ADHD. The practical tools and strategies presented, from creating flexible routines to using time blocking and accountability, offer tangible ways to better manage the daily challenges of ADHD. It's all about finding what works for you and being adaptable, because what works for one person with ADHD may not work for another. In conclusion, ADHD Is Awesome delivers a powerful message. Living with ADHD doesn't mean being less than, it means being different, and that difference can be a source of strength. By embracing the positives, building the right support system, and finding effective techniques to manage ADHD, anyone can lead a fulfilling and successful life. If you enjoyed this summary and found these insights helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Let us know what part of the book resonated most with you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.